Good morning, card communities. RJ back with another video, so let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day from 2004 Topps Tribute. Just a base card, but it is the rainbow foil version of this card. Cool little set, Topps Tribute. Making a whole lot of years. One of those high-end brands that everybody was cranking out. Random baseball item, random Mike Schmidt item of the day. Random baseball item of the day. I'm always looking out for sets available for sale on the Bay. And I mean complete sets, insert sets, just a collection of cards that form a complete set so I can check it off of my tradingcarddatabase.com and say, I've got another full set. I've got another complete set. This one was an insert set from Upper Deck back in, trying to find it here, 2000, I believe, 2001, Upper Deck. It is called Reflections in Time, and it's only 10 cards, but what it does, pairs up legends of the game current to the time, back in 2001, with all-time great legends. So obviously you got Ken Griffey Jr. here, paired up with Hank Aaron. These are just all-around great players. Two awesome right fielders. You've got Sammy Sosa, again, 2001. Sammy was legend, paired up with Roberto Clemente. Two dominant strikeout pitchers of the day. Roger Clemens, and interestingly, they picked Nolan Ryan. Not that it was a bad idea, but he was just recently retired. So he could have almost been the current player almost on this one. Two awesome catchers of the day. I think would you consider Rodriguez to be the best catcher at the time? I don't know. I'm not going to say no to that, but it's just maybe think paired up with Johnny Bench. Your shortstops, I believe. I don't think it was, I could never tell if Ernie Banks was a second baseman or a shortstop. I can never tell. I can never remember that. Anyway, A-Rod paired up with Ernie Banks. Stan Musial and Tony Gwynn as great hitters, I believe. Barry Bonds and Willie Mays. Gehrig and Ripken, obviously their connection is well established. Two great third basemen, Chipper Jones and Mike Schmidt. Shout out to Adam over at Adam's Card Closet. Hope you are having a chipper day, sir. And then lastly, McGuire and Ruth, obviously home run masher. So that's a little set called Reflections in Time from Upper Deck, little insert set, full 10-card set. Picked that up off the Bay for like next to nothing because these little sets have no value to anybody but me. So I get them for really very little money and put them in my awesome collection. So today's trivia question, I'm going to show off the prizes first because it's an interesting thing for me. I don't normally do this, but I have two cards here from an Upper Deck product. Let me flip it over to the back. 2010 Upper Deck World of Sports. And it really was a mammoth set, over 1,000 cards, all kinds of different sports honored. Well, two of the earlier cards in the set were these two awesome college cards, one of Magic Johnson, one of Larry Bird. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson are forever linked in their careers in the game of basketball. I'm a big fan of that era of basketball. Not that I watch much basketball, obviously, because I am a strictly baseball collector, but those are two cards I keep in my collection, and I happen to have more of them. Years ago, I bought a box full of Upper Deck World of Sport cards, and I still have them. They're trash cards, and I just use them for creative purposes, let's say that. But those two cards are awesome homages to two of the greats of the game that are always going to be tied in history. So I figured that I'd offer that up as a prize for this trivia question. George Sisler set the career or the single season record for base hits with 257, obviously later broken by Ichiro, but it took a long, long time to break it. Now, there are 162 games in a season this year. These days, back when Sisler played the game, there was 154. But let's go back even further, back into the early days of baseball. In what year was the first year that somebody accumulated over or at least 200 hits in a season? So tell me the person and the year in which somebody first accumulated 200 hits for this season. That's what you're playing for over there in the background then. Send me an email. I'll include my email in the description below along with a repeat of that question. You will have today and tomorrow to answer. We will pick a winner on Sunday, all right? Good luck to everybody on that one. So today what I want to show off, I'm always looking on the bay for PSA graded Mike Schmidt cards. Now I have very particular standards I hold to. One is I'm not trying to acquire every Mike Schmidt card in a PSA slab. That's ridiculous. It's stupid. There's no point in it. But when I do buy a slab, I only buy 9 or 10 slab cards, because when I'm buying these random Mike Schmidt cards, I'm doing it pretty much to get a collection of graded cards that'll hold its value. So I only buy 9 or 10, and then I only buy it if I can get it for $20 or less. Purchase price, that is. So you'll be surprised what you can find out there on the bay, PSA 9 graded or 10 graded cards for $20 or less, just because nobody else seems interested in them. But for a super collector like me to get a big collection of Mike Schmidt cards graded in PSA 9 or 10 cards, it's a quite a pleasurable experience I enjoy immensely. So recently I picked up this card, 1981 PermaGraphics card. Now, what are PermaGraphics cards? Most people have seen them if you're a baseball collector. If you don't know what they are, a company called PermaGraphics from St. Louis, from the years 1981 through 1983, produced a few sets of cards, about anywhere from 18 to 60, depending upon the year. And it just had interesting facts about the players, and it was produced like a credit card. So this is a piece of plastic about the size of a credit card, and this is what the cards looked like. Why? Don't know. Who was PermaGraphics? Don't know. But it's a cool little subset. Well, they did it for 3 years, and they had multiple variations. So if you're a super collector like me, it's a chore to get them all, because you just don't see these come up. Well, you see them all the time, but all the parallels, all the other versions, that is something you rarely see. So let's take a look. I just recently picked up the last one for my entire run of Mike Schmidt PermaGraphic cards, okay? So let's take a look. In 1981, there are, in most years, there's 4 versions of the cards. So let me show you. For 1981, you have what I just showed you. There's the base card. In the back here, there's a parallel version. So this one is numbered 125-002. 2 is the number in the card set. So there's like 18 or 20 cards in the full set. Mike Schmidt was number 2 in the set. There's a parallel version of this card that doesn't have the 125 in front of it. Don't know why. Just the fact. So I have both versions of the 1981 All-Star card. The ones are called All-Stars. The others are called, I'm not even sure what the other ones are called. All-Stars or League Leaders, who knows. Then there was the that was probably just the standard PermaGraphics. This is the All-Star card. Now, one of the things they also started doing is doing it in a gold tint. So this is the All-Star card from 1981. This is the 1981 gold version. It's easier to see on the back. The gold doesn't come through on the front as much sometimes. I mean, you can see it, but Sometimes when you're looking at an image, you don't know if you're looking at the gold or you're looking at the standard one, but when you see it on the back, it's pretty clear which was the gold. So those are the 1981 cards, all right? 1982 did the same thing. There's a base version, and then there's a Superstar. That's what you got. You got the Superstar and the All-Star cards, okay? So let's start with the Superstar card. 1982 Superstar card looks like this. 1982 Superstar had a gold version. There you go. And again, the gold ones are really hard to find sometimes. I mean, they're out there. They're not impossible to find. But if you're trying to put together a full set of your player run, it takes some effort. And these were from 1982. Those are the Superstar ones. Here is your All-Star card from 1982, Mike Schmidt. And here is your All-Star gold version. You can see this one's pretty well miscut. It's still All-Star and Superstar cards from 1982, base and gold. And then, of course, like I said, they only did it for 3 years, so 1983 is the last one. Start with your 1983 Superstar version, and then your Superstar Gold. Again, I've been trying to find these forever. I remember when I first saw them many years ago. I didn't know there were this many. I mean, you're talking about 12 different cards of your star players if your star player was lucky enough to be featured in each of the sets. Not everybody was. All right. Lastly, we have the 1983 All-Star card. This was a little sepia more so than bright white. I like the bright white colored. There's the gold. You can see this one's got like some sun fading or some, I don't know what you call it, but it's got a cream color to it rather than the bright white, but then you definitely have the gold version. It's almost like a faded gold, but it's the normal one. So there you go. Those are my full run of Mike Schmidt PermaGraphic cards. Now, I will say this about PermaGraphics. That's the full run of Mike Schmidt. That's it. There's no others. Unless you want to be really particular about it, because there is available in some places what they call a proof version. A proof version, and you can get it for some of these, but not all of them, is you can see these have rounded corners. The proof version didn't have the rounded corners. I guess they, what do they want to say? I guess they sliced the corners off later in the production process. I don't know why, but you can get proof versions of some of these cards where the corners are sharp and not rounded. I don't have any of those. I've never seen a Mike Schmidt one up on the bay. I have seen, and you probably can find some up there right now, of some of the other star players in baseball who were included in that set, but I've never found a Mike Schmidt, and I don't consider the proof to be a card that is necessary, I would say, to say I have the full run. I'll say I've got the full run now, given that I have all the base and the gold. So there you go, people. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope I've inspired you to get a couple more cool cards if you super collect somebody from that era of collecting, you know. Thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Come back again on Friday for another awesome video. Take care.